Now to another unsolved files report. Their charred bodies were discovered at a palm tree farm in Robstown back in February, and now 3 months later there's yet to be an arrest for the murders of Jesus Gomez and Isabel Cuellar. Tonight our Bill Churchwell re-examines the case.
Of course, when I got home that day, I was happy as always. You know, I was off work, which is always good. Said, hey, you know, we're gonna make some food. I'm gonna get to see my dad, tell him about my day. As always, to my shocking surprise, what I found wasn't, and it turned my whole life upside down to this day.
What Brian Gomez discovered inside of his father's trailer behind his home here at I-37 and Upriver Road was too horrific to go into detail.
The nastiest scene anybody could think of. Puddles of blood, extensive amounts of blood.
And his father, 51-year-old Jesus Gomez, was missing.
A giant part of my life left that day.
About 16 miles from where his father disappeared, police were already investigating the discovery of two bodies found burned at a palm tree farm in Robstown. Using dental records, police confirming the worst.
I'm glad that I am not holding on to false hope, thinking he's out there alive, but I'm also hurt because I think every day, who do I look up to? Who do I say, you're my dad, and show me how to be a man?
The investigation showing Gomez and a woman, 35-year-old Isabel Cuellar, were murdered at Gomez's trailer and then transported to that tree farm. But there are still many unanswered questions as to why his father was targeted. Brian telling me during our interview he does not know anyone who would have wanted to cause his father any harm. And what about that woman he was found with?
Being I lived in such a busy area, oftentimes there was even people sitting down on the corner at the bus stop in front of my house waiting for a bus, or just simply down on their luck homeless. He could have been given a helping hand. I don't know what their relationship was.
To find out more about Isabel, I sat down with Francisca Cuellar, the victim's sister.
She didn't deserve what she went through and how she died. She did not deserve that at all.
She tells me that the girls came from a tough background, remembering her as a protective one, someone with a strong will.
We didn't have, parents to guide us through life.
Francisca declined to talk about the case itself, she says out of fear for her own safety, but tells me her sister's devastating murder forced her to make her own personal, life-changing decision.
It made me get out of that lifestyle.
He was always smiling.
Brian's life has also changed since that tragic day.
We're going through the toughest time in the world. When somebody passes away, that's your rock. It affects the whole family. I'd often get him with his walker into the car, and we'd go over to a classic car meet in his old Camaro.
Outside, that old 1986 Camaro still sits in the driveway, a memory of what used to be, now collecting dust. Brian hopes one day the person who killed his father and Isabel will be brought to justice.
Not only to give my family closure, give justice. Give justice to my father and Isabel.
Bill Churchwell, 3 News.
Now, Brian Gomez says he will be putting up flyers around this area to try to solve the crime. He's hoping someone out there knows something that can help.